Hey, what's good? Welcome to the channel. Today we have a video by B. Craig titled Disney Adults Are Actually Insane. Appreciate you all for sticking with me and liking, share, and subscribing. I appreciate all that shit. And let's just see what we have today.
You notice something strange and you'd ask yourself, where are all the children? The Disney parks are now filled with adults getting drunk in bars, eating thousands of calories worth of snacks, TikTokers taking pictures in the women's bathrooms, and worst of all, putting themselves into massive amounts of debt to go to Disney parks. Disney parks are now filled with some of the most cringe individuals to walk the planet, also known as Disney adults. There's countless videos on YouTube which criticize Disney adults for the way they act like children and are really cringe. And while that's interesting to explore, and I'll definitely make another video on the cringe side, I want to look at Disney adults from another perspective. What is the financial cost of being a Disney adult? From over-consumerism, having to buy every single product Disney releases, every single limited edition piece of merch, to the limited edition must-eat snacks to try at every park, and even the cost of just getting into the parks. How on earth do these people afford it?
This couple, they spent $21,000 in 1 month when they make $7,000 a month. They're obsessed with Disney. Lots of Disney adults are. They spent $2,000 on Disney exclusive passes and then went to Disney World, spent a lot of money on that. Then they're going to Disney World 2 times next month and then 1 time in the summer.
That's a lot of money on Disney.
But unlike most lesbians, I think they're gonna last forever though, because they're on the same page. And usually couples that aren't on the same page about money, that's where they divorce. But them, they're on the same page about wanting to ruin their lives for Disney.
Before we look at the insane costs of Disney, we need to take a step back and understand how the parks themselves got to be so expensive in the first place. 40 years ago, trips to Disney were easy and pretty affordable for the average family. All you'd have to think about was your ticket, a hotel if you wanted to stay for a few days, and whatever food you fancied eating at the park. Going to Disney today, however, is a totally different story. It's a stack of microtransactions that add up, leaving guests broke by the time they leave, checking their bank accounts and being horrified with the amount of money they've ended up spending. A Disney World ticket in 1971 cost $3.50, and if inflation were the only factor, it would cost around $27 today. But now, a one-day ticket starts at $189.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy though. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. $189 for a 1-day ticket is crazy. I mean, well, yeah, it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. So, yeah.
Making Disney more expensive has been a key strategic goal by the company, conveniently amplified by the term Disney adult growing in popularity around 2015. The trend and term instantly became a meme, with people laughing at their own obsession with Disney. From bawling their eyes out from meeting their favourite characters,
Pooh, I've waited 30 years to meet you. I love you my whole life.
But we know that there's a person inside of the costume, right? Just pointing that out. So just wanted us to be on the same page. There's actually someone in Pooh's costume, like inside of Pooh. There's a human being in there, right? Yeah.
to their insane collections of toys and Disney merch.
The girls that get it, and the girls that don't.
Not on stage.
There was one very important thing that Disney realized that these obsessive adult fans had that the kids do not, and that was money. As the parks expanded and people were willing to spend more, Disney piled on extra charges since 2016, and they didn't seem to be stopping. Dynamic pricing, paid parking, individual lightning lane, Fast Pass Plus, paid ride reservations, special event reservations, dining plans, photo pass, all while removing free services like the free Fast Pass and the free airport transport services. When you take a look at how these services increase the price so dramatically, it's actually pretty scary. Dynamic pricing works by increasing the price when there's more demand for a ticket. School holidays and peak times were at least double the price as usual. The Fast Pass Plus also uses dynamic pricing, so if the park is extremely busy and the rides are popular, the price for the Fast Pass Plus will be too. Dropping $500 for a Fast Pass is genuinely insane, and it's only for one day too. It actually costs more than the ticket itself. But the sad thing is, because the parks are so busy, you pretty much have to buy the Fast Passes unless you only want to go on 3 or 4 rides and wait in queues for hours. From an English perspective, this concept is pretty insane. Like, yeah, we do have Fast Passes at UK theme parks, but you can get them for like £10 at parks like Thorpe Park and Alton Towers. And I get they might not be as busy as Disney World, but is it really worth the £500 difference? And I think it's worth mentioning
chill.
that it's
Fast passes 500. Man, that's crazy. The thing is, right? Y'all, I need help. Like, instead of going and spending your money on all this, just bring it over to me, cause like, this is a crazy amount of money you're spending just for Disney, bro. Like, all this shit is pretty much like an imagination. Someone thought of it and they made movies and on all this shit. So it's so crazy. But like, why don't you spend money on people that actually need the money instead of wasting it? I mean, to them it's not a waste, right? So
actually optional to have fast passes at theme
So, yeah.
parks. Several European parks outright refuse to use them because from a moral perspective, they don't believe that you should be able to skip a queue because you're richer than some other person, or
True.
more willing to go into debt to get them. Two
True.
European theme parks, Bellewaerde and Efteling, say that they don't offer fast passes because we don't wish to give anyone preferential treatment. To be honest, it is a complete money grab by Disney, so they can get more guests into the park and have a payable option to skip the queues. And because the queues are so long, buying a fast pass is just as important as buying a ticket now. It's basically unavoidable if you want to spend more time on the rides and wait in the queues. All of these additional costs slowly add up, forcing guests to spend more without even realizing it, adding
Yeah.
to their Disney debt. Even though the list of additional charges that Disney's added over the past 10 years are absolutely insane, there's something else that Disney has incorporated that changed the game forever. For over 40 years, you couldn't have alcohol at a lot of Disney's parks, with a few exceptions of course. But flash forward to now, and alcohol is one of the big reasons Disney adults come to the parks. Since this shift, it's clear Disney now caters to their adult fans, offering an absolutely insane variety of alcoholic drinks available in all of the parks. But it's not just a few cocktails here and there, and they've even developed a famous drinking game in Epcot known as Drinking Around the World, where guests spend up to 6 hours on a bar crawl through 8 themed countries, each with a cocktail inspired by the place they're in.
Nothing can stop us now. I'll tell you how. We're gonna make it happen. Let's take a ride and spend the day in the countryside. The times are here to stay.
Man, this is crazy though.
And have a perfect picnic.
Aside from the awful audio, you get the point here.
Yeah.
Disney is catering more towards Disney adults, who have a lot more money to spend than the children. And as a quick side note, I really hope that tattoo was fake, because that is extremely embarrassing. But not
Yeah,
only
it
is
is.
this drinking game at Epcot great for getting people to spend over $200 on drinks alone if they complete the challenge, but selling alcoholic drinks is much more lucrative than sodas alone. A Coke or a juice for a child probably costs around $4, but a cocktail is closer to $20. The markup on these drinks is easy because the margins are so high. It definitely doesn't cost $20 to make a cocktail, but guests will happily pay for it because it's Disney themed. Serving alcohol also changes who comes to Disney and why. Instead of it for being for kids' birthdays or special occasions for kids, it's now a place for adult-only holidays and stag or hen do's, or bachelor parties, I think, to my American subscribers.
That's crazy.
There's even been entire Reddit threads talking about the alcohol consumption in Disney, with one person saying, it went from being a family-friendly experience to being a mob of drunk, dehydrated, aggressive who behave worse than hungry children. Alcohol also encourages guests to stay longer, spending more time in the bars and restaurants, conveniently buying more food. I don't know about you, but when I've had a drink, I get absolutely starving. And it seems like Disney knows this too. And what better way to take advantage of all those slightly buzzed or just straight up drunk guests than the largest selection of snacks in the world, littered across almost every path in the park. At Disney, trying the snacks are just as important as going on the rides and meeting the characters. The snacks are also ridiculously expensive, often between $10 to $20 for one thing. And the most ridiculous thing that I found was literally a stick with one piece of bacon on it for $10.
Who's calling that? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit?
The snacks are already expensive, but slap a Mickey shape on there and you instantly pay more for just a shape.
Some basic theme park snacks that happen to be Mickey shaped and then cost $5 million. You'll spend almost $8 on a Mickey pretzel that is just okay, so I recommend instead spending that money on the Pepper Jack pretzel at Cheshire Cafe. It's a warm pretzel stuffed with gooey pepper jack cheese, and it's just way more worth it in my opinion. 2, Mickey bars are obviously iconic, but they're $6 for a basic chocolate ice cream
That's
bar.
crazy,
So
bro.
instead, you can get a fresh single scoop of ice cream at Plaza Ice Cream Parlor with Mickey ears for $4.99.
But it's not just 1 or 2 snacks that guests are having in the parks, as they're often spending over $50 on just snacks alone.
So the thing is, right? Look, the crazy thing is because I don't know, right? I'm in Canada, right? So I don't really know about that. But Americans, they have such a way of like overspending on food and stuff. Like their overconsumption is so crazy. The same thing with phones too. But I think that's like a world thing, right? Like more of the world like exchanging their phones every time. But like food, clothes, phones, gadgets. Like people just buy things they don't really need or they just want, right? So that's what I've noticed though. Like Americans have that overconsumption like mentality or ideology. Just had to point that out here, for my viewers that are watching.
And not even considering the main meals that they'll be having throughout the day.
This is a work of art. 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 But this is a work of art.
Couples going to the parks together will often be spending over $100 every day just on snacks.
Yeah.
This is just simply too much to try.
Yeah.
Disney creates FOMO over snacks, calling them must try to create scarcity, and they often change seasonally. Once they're gone, and they don't come back. So if guests are there, they feel like they need to try it all there and then. They're obviously all themed too, so Disney adults need to try them because the food is from their favorite shows. Who cares if they can't afford it? They can just use the credit cards to buy them. As we're talking about Disney adults, it wouldn't feel right to not mention the plus-size park hoppers, and they're just as popular for their food recommendations as they are for their controversial "if I fit, I sit" videos, which I have covered before on the channel.
Hey everyone, we're Plus Size Park Hoppers, and this is everything we ate in a day as plus size best friends at Disney's Magic Kingdom. We started our day by having lunch at the Plaza restaurant on Main Street. We find that the food tastes better than any of the quick service options available at Magic Kingdom, and it's pretty affordable too. Katie started off with the Plaza loaded fries, which can be made gluten-free. These come with melted cheddar, bacon, green onion, and spicy sour cream. Ashley and I both got the triple-decker turkey club sandwich. This
Ooh.
sandwich is really good, and it's our go-to every time we go. We also thought that the portion was pretty big for the price. Katie got the Chipotle barbecue pork sandwich with a gluten-free bun. And for dessert, she had a strawberry milkshake. Later on that day, Katie got the Aurora cone, but without a cone to make it gluten-free from Storybook Treats. And Ashley and I split the candied bacon skewer from Westward Ho. This was the perfect combination of salty and sweet, and also who doesn't love a snack on a stick? Before we left the park, we were thirsty for ice cream, so Katie headed over to Aloha Isle and got the coconut pineapple Dole Whip. Then Ashley and I headed over to the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. We each got the All-American Sundae, which is one of our favorite sweet treats in Magic Kingdom. If you're a fan of chocolate and peanut butter, then this is the ice cream for you. When we got back to Saratoga Springs, we headed to the Artist Palette for dinner. Ashley and I both got the shrimp with green beans and mashed potatoes, which was pretty good for a quick service dinner. Katie got the chicken and rice bowl, but we accidentally forgot to record it. And then we ended our night in the hot tub.
Focusing just on what Katie eats, because she is one of the biggest people there, and I'm not trying to
Yeah,
bully
she
her,
is-
but
she
she
is
eats
eating
nearly
a lot.
5,000 calories worth of food and snacks at the park in a single day.
Yeah.
Not even including what she'll have been eating before or after the video. This
Yeah.
food came to over $50 as well, which is just so expensive for one day, especially with the majority of it being from snacks. Now I totally agree, when you're at Disney, you should eat whatever you want.
I ain't gonna lie. The thing is, right? She started out good, but as the video continued, she started taking like sundaes and ice cream and chicken and all this shit, right? So I mean, yeah, she had way more calories than the rest of them. I know it's so crazy, right? That I mean, to go to all this place and like keep eating, right? I feel like Disney just preys on your innocence. I won't say innocence, but like on your childhood, Like, I feel like people that didn't really have a childhood, or that want to go back to their childhood, like, you know how childhood is, right? Just like chilling and everything just going smoothly for you. They're just trying to prey on that ideology in your brain. So I feel like they're just preying on that. So I mean, it's what it is. But they're making a lot of money from it though. So I mean, they're pretty good at what they do. But I feel like this is just like a mental illness, or not a mental illness, but like they're just preying on you. I just feel like they're preying on all the people that are going for all this shit. You can go for a trip there for like, let's say, once a year, twice a year. I've never gone to Disney, and I never plan to go to Disneyland, but once or twice a year is pretty good. Some people go 8 times a year. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because it's a treat and you probably won't go again for a few years. I mean, even I did a 10k calorie challenge and I won't be doing one again anytime soon. But the plus size park hoppers seem to be going to a park every week. This isn't cheap, nor is it healthy. Now the plus size park hoppers do have a social media presence, so they might be able to afford this. But normal Disney adults are doing this too. They're going to Disney way more than they can afford and eating way more than they can afford to. They're so consumed by Disney that they totally let themselves go wild and have no boundaries when it comes to indulging and consuming whatever they want. Whether it's food, merchandise, or going to the parks multiple times a year. And for all of these reasons that we've looked at, it's no wonder why so many people have gone into debt just to be able to go to Disney. 45% of guests with young children have gone into debt to be able to go to Disney. And 24% of adults with no children have gone into debt to go to Disney too. And it's rising too, as stats are up 33% from the same survey in 2022. From the posts that I've seen, part of the magic of Disney is also going into debt. It's joked about like it's funny, like it's cooler to be in debt than not. Like it's some sort of badge of honor to say, I went into debt so I could go to Disney. They act as if Disney's some friendly corporation who's happy to lend you the money, and they like to pretend that it's not an entity that would send the bailiffs when you ultimately miss a payment. I think a huge part of this is caused by the childlike nature of Disney guests and why they feel entitled to go. It's like a form of therapy for them. Many Disney adults explain their obsession with Disney as being a result of not having a proper childhood.
Okay. So the thing I said earlier about preying on their childhood, so I guess I was right, but I couldn't just frame it properly. Like they're trying to relieve, like trying to go back to the child. Well, I can't say they're trying to go back to the childhood because they didn't have a good childhood, but they're trying to have the bad childhood they didn't have. They're trying to have it right now, if you know what I'm saying. They're trying to have the bad childhood they didn't have. They're trying to have it right now. That's why they're spending all this shit, and I feel like Disney knows too. That's why they're catering to adults now. So, I mean, it's working out for them.
It's true. There's many children who grew up in households that couldn't afford to go to Disney, or they had some sort of trauma. But that shouldn't be worth going into thousands of dollars of debt for.
Yeah.
The worst part about this TikTok video is the number of comments supporting the creator, encouraging each other to continue to go into debt to solve their childhood traumas. This healed my inner child. This would cure my depression. The best thing is you're making memories and enjoying life, so he is worth what you paid. Hope you had a good time, that is all that matters. Maybe it's just me, but I don't see how seeing a person in a suit in real life would cure your trauma. You'd be much better off seeing a therapist. But it's not just people who are going into debt specifically because of Disney. Many Disney adults are still choosing to go when they are already thousands of dollars in debt.
Trips are coming up.
So,
please don't tell me trips are coming up.
Well, I've been trying to plan a Disney cruise
That's
for us.
insanely expensive.
100K in debt.
How much is that going to cost?
Well,
how much is that going to cost?
For the weeks that I needed to go, so it had to be specific because he can't get off work. He has shut down on 2 weeks a year. So the price for the week we needed to go was going to be $8,000 for the cruise.
Oh my! That is a month of your income, lady. You said you want to control the money because you cannot trust him, so that you guys can pay off debt, so that you can get married. That is what you opened this conversation with. You, that is not the truth. That is both. That is both. That is both. That is both.
I get wanting to go on expensive holidays, I really do. But the best thing you can do instead is to be financially stable first. If you absolutely need to get away, there are so many things you can do for cheap. At least from in the UK, I can go somewhere in Europe for less than £500. I know America's a bit different, but there are definitely cheaper places to go than Disney. And to put it into perspective just how expensive Disney trips can get, this guy spent over 30 grand to take his entire family to Disney.
We stayed here for a little over a week and it was about 30 grand.
Did you use any debt to pay for that trip?
No, we had savings that we had.
Which resort?
All sport. All inclusive was the way to go for us. I took 5 grandchildren and all their parents.
I'm no Disney expert, but people in the comments of this video point out that the All-Star Sports Hotel is actually the worst one. So it's not that they're getting the luxury experience from that 30 grand. If you've got the money to burn, sure, spend this much. But the fact that ordinary people with regular jobs are trying to be on the same level is just insane to me. It's no surprise people have to go into debt to afford this. On Caleb Hammer's financial audit, a Disney adult couple joined the show to talk about their insane debt and why they still choose to go to Disney despite this.
You spent $1,000 on just being at Disney, on here. $1,000 just on the Disney crap.
I mean,
for a day, for 1 day, $1,000 for a day. Guys, you make $7 a month net, and you blew through a seventh of it in a day. Unacceptable. Missing our student loan payments, i.e. the money you borrowed, federally backed, subsidized from us, the taxpayers. You know, these ones right here, us. You're not paying it back.
Yo, don't listen.
But you're going to Disney.
Well, we're gonna pay it back when I get our next paycheck.
Maybe we'll see that, or you can have a bonus trip to Disney because there's a hidden relative's birthday you didn't know about.
Well, next month both trips we're going on, we're going with other people, so we've already committed to splitting the hotel with them.
Yeah, call them and say, oh wait, I forgot that I'm literally a poor.
These girls are so delusional that they think going to Disney is more important than getting out of debt, that they even add to it. Debt is no joke, and people like this tend to forget that. It can ruin your life. They can lose their houses, their cars, their entire livelihoods, and in this case, all to go to Disney. Even for people who try to just avoid going into debt just to visit the parks, Disney has created new schemes to entice them to. In this video, a woman shares her story of how she was essentially duped into a points-based scheme at Disney that ended up leaving her with significant debt.
This is part 3 of how we got into massive debt, and this is one of my most embarrassing debts that we have. A few years ago, our family took a trip to Disney and we impulsively purchased the Disney Vacation Club. And we did so by financing it. If you don't know what the Disney Vacation Club, or DVC, is, it's kind of like a timeshare for Disney World. Except instead of having one specific resort or specific weeks of the year that you get to use it, it's a point system. You buy a certain number of points, and then those points can get redeemed at any DVC resort any time of the year that they have availability. That means you can end up staying at Disney World properties, Disneyland properties, and they also have other DVC resorts like in Hawaii and in Europe, so it definitely provides like a lot of opportunity to travel. Now, with that being said, this is a very bougie luxury purchase that we had no business making. There were some incentives when we purchased, so the total cost of financing was around $27,000. Now, was this stupid? Yes, I know that. But I promise you, our hearts were in a good place, but like our financial literacy.
So because your hearts are in a good place, that means that you can make stupid mistakes, right? She's trying to excuse what she did because our hearts are, goddamn, our hearts are in a good place, so I can make stupid mistakes. Yeah, that's the thing though. I feel like y'all are just privileged in America and shit. Like, y'all are really, really, really privileged, right? Like, half the world is like in I won't say poverty, but like, you know, standard of living is down, way down, especially in Africa, right? But still though, like, it's so crazy the amount of money people will spend just to go to Disneyland or Disney World. I don't know. But it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Was zero.
Financing 27 grand worth of Disney is just absolutely insane to me.
Yeah,
that
that's
could pay
crazy.
for a house deposit or even multiple cars.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you could do with that money instead of buying a Disney holiday. And the
Yeah.
worst part about all of this is that Disney adults 100% support each other. If they're all in debt together, there's no judgment. Disney is such an all-encompassing entity with so much to buy that many Disney adults can go into debt without even having to go to the parks. They spend thousands on limited edition merch, collectibles, and literally anything with Disney printed on it. This really is overconsumption at its finest. I can't help but stare at all those Mickey ears and wonder what else could have been bought instead. They're not cheap either, around $50 each. And I'm no Disney expert, I might be after this video, but I'm sure that the ears are bought to be worn in the parks. So does this create a plan on going to Disney over 100 times to wear each pair at a different time? I don't know. There are so many Disney adults who have an absolutely insane...
As you were saying, right, as I was saying earlier, this is an obsession. This is an obsession. Like, having this many themes for, like, something that's not even, like, making your life better. You're just using it to cope. It's crazy. And you're getting into debt because of that, right? It's a crazy thing to do. It's a crazy thing to do. That's what I'm saying. Americans are just privileged, bro. Like, they're definitely privileged. No.
An amount of merch too. I don't want to be too judgmental, but at this point it just seems like hoarding. You don't do anything with any of this. It's just stuff. It's not like other collectibles like Warhammer figures maybe, that people spend lots of time painting or having hundreds of books to read. It's just stuff. A lot of Disney merch can only be bought at specific parks too.
Yeah.
Not online or in any stores outside the parks. So there's an exclusivity of that makes it so much more popular. Ultimately, I can understand why parents want to take their kids to Disney even though they're in debt, but there are ways to make it cheaper. They can stay off-site instead of the park hotels to make it cheaper. Bring some of their own food and drinks, and maybe even stay for a shorter time. But Disney adults, I think if you have so much debt already and will be going into more debt just to go to Disney, I just don't think it's worth going, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, I know this video is pretty finance heavy, so if you want me to...
Appreciate, man. Like the vid, it's actually pretty good. And love you. To all my viewers that are still watching right now, just like, share, subscribe. Let's get this video out there. And I appreciate for all you've done. All you're doing, actually. So I'm going to see you all later. I got to go to class. Yeah.